NXT took place tonight in its home of Orlando, Florida at the WWE Performance Center. We opened up with the video package on Stephanie Vaquer's reign as a double champion in NXT and how she won the 2 belts. So we see Stephanie Vaquer, Jada Parker, Fallon Henley, and Javon Evans all arriving at the PC. For tonight's show, we start off with Stephanie Vaquer defending her NXT Women's Championship that she won 2 weeks ago against Jada Parker. Jada's out first, followed by Vaquer, and we see the women's locker room watching backstage during the match. Lola Vice entered the room late, and then we see Jordynne Grace leaving, so it's obvious she was going to interfere when we saw her leave. And the match itself is pretty good. Jada Parker has a lot of potential. Stephanie had her big head scissor smash spot, whatever it's called, that everyone loves for obvious reasons. And then what you had was Jordynne Grace interfering because Jada Parker is the one who laid her out last week. So she distracts Jordynne Grace, and once that happens, Vaquer is able to roll up Jada Parker, and she holds down her legs and gets the pin. So you see Stephanie Vaquer retain her NXT Women's Championship to start the show. After the match, Fatal Influence attacked Stephanie, and they beat her down to basically weaken her for her match with the NXT Women's North American Championship against Fallon Henley later in the night. So they did it to weaken her, and they did that, but it didn't go so well anyways. Backstage, Trick Williams went back and forth with Javon Evans, and they're teasing more tension. They're going to get a triple threat, it looks like, I think, with Obafemi at Stand Liver. They show us still shots of the City Beautiful, Orlando. After that, we see the Meta Girls backstage are complaining to Ava. Then you see Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley show up, and they say they deserve their spot, which is going to be in a TNA Tag Team title match for the women's tag team titles. And you had the Meta Girls complaining. And by the way, with TNA, I heard they fired Gail Kim today. Why? Why would you fire her? I don't know why they'd get rid of her. That's unfortunate to hear, but she's a TNA original. She was one in the early knockouts division. She is probably, well, she actually is. She's their best female star ever. She's their biggest female star ever, and she's the most successful there. So that's unfortunate. But just to speak on TNA, because they're working with TNA still, and what you had was the Meta Girls complaining to Ava. They wanted the match, and then it sets a match with Gigi and Tatum against the Meta Girls, which were Lash Legend and Cara Jackson, who I really thought they were going to go on the main roster, and I thought they were going to be a trio with Naomi, and they were going to be the ones who attacked Jade along with Naomi, but we're not getting that. We had an exclusive interview with Ricky Starks, who was interviewed by Vic Joseph earlier today. And then when we get to it, Sean Spears is the one who interrupts the video package, and basically he took a shot at AEW because he says to Ricky Saints that after this fails, where are you going to go? Well, you can't go back there to that other company because you burn every bridge. So they're setting up, I mean, it's one of those things where these are two guys who are in AEW. I mean, Sean Spears, he's Ty Dillinger. He was a much bigger star in NXT than he ever was in AEW. But with Ricky Saints, they're playing it up, I guess. I don't know. It just seems like they're booking for the internet a bit too much, in my opinion. But that's how that segment ended. We saw Wesley complaining about Ricky Starks as the interview ended backstage. Ethan Page then in the same locker room, he's threatening Andre Chase. 2 of his students got in his way, and then Chase stepped in and had a confrontation with Ethan Page and Andre Chase. You had Hank and Tank meeting the Motor City Machine Guns backstage, asking for advice, and I thought, uh-oh, this is not good. This ain't good. Motor City Machine Guns already in NXT. I'm sure they're going to be on WrestleMania SmackDown on WrestleMania week. I don't think they're going to be on the show, but that's a bad sign. He had Hank and Tank against Tyson and Tariq. Those are Wesley's guys. Wesley distracts them in a match and allows the heels to get the win. Ava is backstage talking to Stephanie Vaquer in the trainer's room. She's hurt. She's banged up. Ava asks if she can still compete against Fallon, and Stephanie Vaquer says she will compete and defend her NXT Women's North American Championship against Fallon Henley. Sarah Schreiber backstage, she interviews Nathan Frazier and Axiom. And I was disappointed when I was seeing this because they were teasing tension between the two of them, and I did not want to see that at all. I like them as a team. I want them to continue as a team. I enjoyed their reign as a tag team. I really hope they don't split them up. But the way they were teasing it seemed like they might actually do that. I find that very disappointing because I enjoy their work as a team. I hope they don't overreact to Axiom's really good match against Gunter on SmackDown from last week. Or actually, I think it was 2 weeks ago, actually, in Spain. And they bring up that, and it's weird because Nathan Frazier is almost teasing Axiom that he lost to Gunter. I'm thinking to myself, you lost to the World Heavyweight Champion, you give him a hell of a match. Anyway, we go to Lexis King against Javon Evans. This is for the Heritage Cup Championship. So you had Javon Evans do this awesome dive on the outside in which they both land on the announce table. And that just looks awesome. Javon Evans is just a freak of nature. He's incredibly athletic. He's super talented. And then he hits another really good high dive. And this is to the outside near the entrance ramp to that area. And it's incredible because you can see the hang time on Javon Evans. It's nuts. It's incredible to see. He's an incredible athlete and so athletic, so agile. He's one of the best high flyers I've seen in a while in the WWE. And when he's done, if he stays healthy and he really continues this, he's going to be one of the best high flyers ever. He's just a great athlete. So we had Obafemi as back in the ring. Lexis King has the referee distracted, so Obafemi comes out and he surprises Javon Evans. He gives him a power bomb onto the apron like Kevin Owens used to do. And he still does sometimes. And he powerbombs him, and that crushes Javon, and his back is hurt badly. He tries to get back in the ring, but he gets counted out. And Lexis King wins by count out. And I thought, that's disappointing for Lexis King because I thought they could at least give him a pinfall victory over Javon Evans because he just got jumped and he got beaten up and he wasn't 100%. But they didn't want to give Lexis King the pinfall win. But he won anyway. He won by count out, so he keeps his cup that no one cares about. And I thought, that was interesting. Back in the ring, Obafemi, it actually makes sense. They don't have Javon Evans to get pinned before he challenges for a title. I see that, but still. You could have given a win to Lexis King here. You had Obafemi about to attack Javon Evans again, but then he's interrupted by Retribution. I'm not calling them whatever they call themselves, Dark Fate or Dark, whatever the hell that their name is. They're Retribution 2.0. So he attacks everyone, but Trick makes the save. Sorry, I was going to say he attacked Javon Evans, but Trick makes the save. And Trick was going to hit the trick shot on Obafemi, but he moves out of the way. He actually hits the trick shot to Javon Evans. And then you have Trick and Oba being separated by security, while the losers of Retribution look by in the crowd. Those guys suck. They should all be released. I'm sorry. Fuck these guys. This is the worst stable, man. I don't want to see this shit. I have bad memories from Retribution and the frickin' chainsaw on the ropes. That's all these guys are. These stupid skull masks. Like they're the... What is that team in that TNA? The Aces and Eights who used to wear the skull mask. Ugh. He had Tatum Paxton and Gigi Dolan against Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. So you had Sol Ruka and Zaria out to watch the match. You had Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxton get a surprise win. It was a clean win here. And they're really hyping up their match we're going to have in TNA, which is for the women's tag team titles in TNA. And one of the champions there is a woman named Ash by Elegance, better known to WWE fans as Dana Brooke, who is in TNA now. And she is supposedly one of their champions in the women's division, the tag team champion. And they're hyping it up really much. They let them meet the Meta Girls here. And they really want you to watch TNA to see Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley take on the TNA the TNA Knockouts tag team champions. They did an NXT focus on Tony D'Angelo. He's in a restaurant with the family, and they're basically all there about to have a conversation, and it makes you think, are they going to blow it up here? Are they going to turn on him? No, they just talk about what happened last week, which Tony being jumped, and they want revenge. And then you have two of the members leave. The one who stays is Stax, and that's where he has a conversation with Stax. He asks him if he's good, and Stax says he's alright, he's good. And then he asks if he can trust him. And Stacks gets up, he puts his hand on the Don's shoulder and says, "You can trust me." They're clearly going to do an angle where Stacks betrays Tony D'Angelo and blows up the family and betrays his own family. That's going to happen eventually, but they're building up to it. I don't think it should happen on WrestleMania weekend. There's too much going on. Hold it off, but maybe you can do it on the Tuesday after WrestleMania. That show's going to be in Las Vegas, but we're getting there. Ethan Page enters, and then we see he's making his entrance, and then we see Ricky Starks heading to commentary as well. That was actually a funny moment. He had Hank and Tank arguing with the Motor City Machine Guns backstage. They give them advice. Ethan Page and Andre Chase. Page won a surprisingly competitive match. Andre Chase had so many good matches. The thing that makes it hard to really take him seriously is his attire, but he has good matches. They had a good match. Page stared down Ricky Saints after it, and Ricky Saints looked like he was about to hit the ring. And all of a sudden, he gets hit in the head with the NXT North American Championship by the champion, who is Shawn Spears, and that sets up their match next week, which was announced. They had a Retribution video on X. They do highlights earlier in the show from the opening match, which was Stephanie Vaquer against Jada Parker. Then they have Stephanie Vaquer and Fallon Henley heading to the ring for the main event. They had Trick Williams outside. Someone's asking him questions. It's kind of like a paparazzi. That's the kind of style. And he's just mad at everyone. He's mad at Javon. He's mad at Oba, and he's mad at the Retribution people. They preview next week's show. Then we get to the main event, which was the NXT Women's North American Championship. Stephanie Vaquer defending her title against Fallon Henley. I'm going to get her last name right. To me, it's Vaquer. That's how you say it, but it's actually Vaquer. That's how they pronounce it on commentary. So, Fallon's out first, then Stephanie comes out. Fallon gets the heat early as Stephanie's still selling the beating she got from Fatal Influence earlier in the show, along with the match she had with Jada Parker, so she's not 100%. She's getting beat up. Fallon Henley has the control for most of the match, but Stephanie makes her come back. She hits the move everyone loves, and then eventually she... I don't know. Did she even hit it? I forget. I don't think she did. Anyway, she wins with the SVB. She retains the title. Fatal Influence attacks her again, but then Jordynne Grace comes out, makes the save. She hands both the belts back to Stephanie, and they have a brief tug of war, and then Jada Parker jumps Jordynne Grace from behind, but then she gets knocked outside by Jordan, and they have a stare down to end the show with Stephanie Vaquer and Jordynne Grace. We go backstage. Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, and Cora Jade all demand a rematch with Vaquer. Ava, or maybe not a rematch, it was just a match, but Ava says she'll figure it out, so I assume we're getting some multi-woman match next week. And then you have Vaquer and Jordynne Grace staring each other down in the ring. So, still no mention of Julia at all. That's not good. I guess it has to do something with her visa. And also, there is no matches announced for Stand and Deliver yet. And we're a month out. You think we'd at least get our main event? I think we're going to get a whole bunch of matches probably announced next week or within 2 weeks. So we'll get more matches, but still, nothing really been announced yet. I just feel like it's going to be hard for Stand and Deliver to live up to that Roadblock show we got 2 weeks ago. And it feels like NXT just hasn't been the same since that show. It was such a great show that these last 2 weeks were just kind of they're all right. But I think once we get closer to Roadblock, away from Roadblock and closer to Stand and Deliver, we'll get some more better shows and we'll get more excited to see what happens next. I have to say NXT was still better than Raw. That's not saying much. It was still a better show, and we'll see what happens next as we continue the road to WrestleMania weekend for Stand and Deliver.